Esteemed guest, our pinnacle has arrived. Cease any jesting. The current situation is really precarious. The CEO of Ripple declared in court that the business had triumphed in its litigation against the SEC, potentially representing the most consequential event in Bitcoin history and the most favorable outcome we could have anticipated. Numerous individuals feel that XRP's value may rise to $59,472.00. This is an exceptional opportunity. Do not forfeit the chance to acquire wealth. After years of uncertainty, Ripple's legal dispute with the SEC has concluded. Let us proceed directly to the matter at hand without involving Ben. This is really consequential for XRP, Ripple, and the broader cryptocurrency sector, the resolution of one of the most contentious instances in the industry's history. No more delays or litigious disputes. Ripple is significantly favored in the settlement. The XRP litigation is approaching its conclusion, as indicated by Steph's tweet. The previously optimistic tweet has finally materialized. Recently, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, informed Fox Business that the SEC had decided to dismiss the lawsuit. The government's stance on digital assets seems to be evolving due to the chair has assumed control of the agency. Cryptocurrency is perceived as an emerging sector necessitating comprehension, regulation, and cohesion rather than solely as a menace. According to Garlinghouse, Ripple allocated $125 million, 0 cents, to address the potential penalty. Now that the agreement is in place, the majority of the funds are being reimbursed along with the accrued interest. Crucially, Ripple may opt to disperse the outstanding $50 million, 0 cents, in XRP instead of US dollars. Coinbase's evidence indicates that there is no longer uncertainty over XRP's ultimate recognition by the US government as a legitimate payment method or its preservation as a digital asset. They are now incorporated in the real, engaged in dialogue. We must now await the SEC's official announcement. The lawsuit concerning XRP has been dismissed. The community has eagerly awaited this day for years. Encapsulated in a tweet, XRP will commemorate its resurgence on this day. Ripple is not delaying its actions. Furthermore, Garlinghouse addressed Ripple's substantial $2 billion 0 cents acquisition of Hidden. A year ago, when U.S. authorities shown overt hostility towards all forms of cryptocurrencies, this approach would have been deemed implausible. Such agreements communicate a message. Ripple is no longer adopting a defensive stance, as stated by the company. It is currently expanding again, this time on a substantial scale, with assurance and devoid of further regulatory limitations. A government penalty may potentially be settled with XRP concept. Nonetheless, it illustrates that Ripple has confidence in its asset, which is both a legitimate currency and a token with significant potential. If the government accepts that payment, it may be a quiet yet pivotal moment in U.S. financial history. The tacit recognition of the significance of digital assets. Not all of this information is favorable for Ripple. The corporate sector is at a crucial juncture. We are now commencing a new phase. Following years of stagnant advancement and contentious disputes, Ripple is gaining momentum as the SEC alters its position. This suggests that XRP's resurgence may have already commenced. Nonetheless, this is merely the inception. With the dismissal of the SEC case against Ripple, the circumstances are now poised for something colossal. XRP's price is set to surge again. Moreover, several cryptocurrency experts assert that it will be exceedingly explosive. You regarded XRP's judicial triumph as substantial. Merely await the charts, indication of the subsequent direction. Please remain for a moment, as you may be astonished by what follows. As the legal constraints on Ripple have been lifted, XRP is not merely gaining traction in the gaze of traders. Furthermore, it is starting to forecast prices in some of the most extraordinary manners observed to date. The increasing enthusiasm and confidence surrounding Ripple's coin is hard to ignore. Regardless of whether you are an experienced investor or merely observing, Jack the Ripper asserted in a tweet that XRP will attain $5.00 this month. That exemplifies commitment rather than mere wishful thinking. It was evident that he was not solitary. The XRP Avengers deserve gratitude. I am fully dedicated to XRP. These adherents are exerting greater effort now that the legal ambiguity has dissipated, as they are convinced that XRP's full potential is just beginning to unfold. Oscar Ramos, another player, articulated the sentiments of several holders. Ownership of XRP is likely to elicit satisfaction. XRP has the potential to generate substantial riches. What is your assessment of this token thus far? Will determine the accuracy of the information. It is apparent that substantial energy is presently permeating the XRP community. It resembles a long-anticipated resolution rather than a mere surge. The subsequent element is the wild card, the slightly unreasonable and sometimes illogical predictions. Random CryptoPal remarked, "Certainly, we have observed analogous meme-driven historical forecasts indicate that cryptocurrency cultural phenomena often acquire market share in an amusing manner. While not all forecasts stem from memes, the emergence of such figures illustrates the significant growth of sentiment, several of them derived from reputable sources, including Forbes. A Forbes article entitled "New Bitcoin is XRP" was inexplicably retracted and is currently en route to $59,472.00, momentarily manifested before vanishing. A cryptocurrency investment firm endorsed the message, and both Google Bard and Microsoft's Bing chatbot agreed. The reason for its removal remains ambiguous. However, both AI assistants confirmed the article's existence, its publication date, and its alarming forecast. As per Bard and Bing, the narrative suggests that XRP's value may surge owing to heightened institutional interest, augmented use of Ripplet, and a positive worldwide perspective on digital payments. Certain skeptics asserted that the piece perhaps failed to comply with Forbes' editorial standards and could have been sponsored. In the realm of Bitcoin, where information and excitement intersect, even a fleeting narrative can exert a tangible impact. Europe has already set big goals for itself. European financial experts have valued XRP at $60,000.00, as reported by CryptoGeek. This figure formerly seemed like science fiction, but it now presents as a credible scenario, or at the very least an intriguing rumor. Ultimately, it reduces to a singular concept. The narrative has ceased to exist.